Have you seen Star Wars?
There are a lot of us who are not fans of the sequel trilogy, myself included, and mainly when it came to the Rise of Skywalker, it felt like even fans of the sequels, even fans of The Last Jedi, had a lot of problems with the movie, and I had a big problem with the ending as well. There's this video that came from TikTok, from a fan of the sequel trilogy actually, who basically fixed how the ending of Rise of Skywalker went, mainly when it came to Ben bringing back Rey, and here's the clip.
So if you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that I enjoy the sequel trilogies as much as I enjoy the other trilogies. And I've been consistently asked if I could change anything about the sequel trilogies, what would I change? Well, there's a laundry list of things I would change, but there's one thing that I would change the most. Oh, and you might want to blind react to this.
Ben, you have the power. It's been inside of you this whole time. Save the one you love. Finish what I started.
Now, a few things I really like about this video is not only that Hayden Christensen is back as Anakin Skywalker, that's something that a lot of us expected in The Rise of Skywalker. He, of course, came back as a Force Ghost voice when he was talking to Rey, but it didn't really have the same symbolicness of literally the Chosen One. Anakin Skywalker is supposed to be the Chosen One, coming back, and in this situation, actually talking to his grandson, and kind of bringing the circle complete. Where we always believed, at least when it came to the prequels and the Jedi, someone like Anakin and someone like Emperor Palpatine during the prequel trilogy, they believed that, you know, the dark side could unlock the ability to save someone from dying because of Darth Plagueis, but he was manipulating the midichlorians to do that. And now we look at this video, we look at the sequel trilogy and how they're approaching of, I guess, bringing back someone from death and saving a life. It's actually something that a light side ability would be able to do. It's something that you would get from the good side of the Force, and I think that makes a lot of sense, but I think this change in the ending would drive that message home a little bit more, that you don't need the dark side to save someone from dying. It's actually the light side. If you fully commit yourself to the light side, kind of sacrifice yourself for someone else's life, that's how it would actually come to fruition. Another thing that's really good about this too is that it actually makes Ben's arc, or Kylo Ren's arc, seem a little bit more important. One thing that I could not stand about The Rise of Skywalker is that his arc was kind of, not pointless, but didn't mean much to me. And maybe different for other people. I'm fine with Ben being redeemed back to the light, but I also wanted to have some meaning to it, because it seems like he was brought back to the light simply to save Rey from death from the Emperor. I mean, the dyad of the Force situation was mostly just to get Palpatine back to full power, and right when you think, alright, Palpatine's going to face off with Rey and Kylo Ren and Ben Solo, whatever you want to call him, he's about to face off to both of these Jedi, then it turns out, oh, he just throws Ben over a cliff, and then ironically once Rey defeats Palpatine, he comes back from the cliff falling and saves her life. It's just, in my opinion, very poorly written, very normal for Chris Terrio and J.J. Abrams kind of script, and it was very disappointing to see in theaters that ending, because it's like, well, what's the message from this? If you're Rey, literally anything and everything will happen to you in a very good way of, well, the reason you're so powerful is because you happen to be related to Palpatine. But the good news is you can denounce the name and make yourself a Skywalker. Also, don't worry about dying because homeboy Ben Solo is here to save the day. I'm okay with her being revived by Ben. I don't like the fact that he had to die to basically bring her back to life. But having Anakin here, having Anakin kind of be the one to say what he did in The Force Awakens, where he's like, finish what I started, what he was starting to do was find a way to save the one he loved, which was Padme, and he couldn't do that. He ended up being the reason she died. I mean, she lost the will to live because of the broken heart, very cringy dialogue, very cringy moment, but still, his goal for turning to the dark side was completely to save Padme from dying, and you can see the irony of him going to the dark side is what caused her death. This situation is reversed of Ben, he's not even looking to save the one he loves from dying because he didn't, I guess, love Rey until close to the very end of it all. But he was on the dark side and he switched to the light. And him switching to the light is what brought Rey back from the dead. And I think that shows a very good message in total for the sequel trilogy, because now the sequel trilogy is kind of done and over, I don't really know what the message was. I still am kind of trying to figure that out to this day. I think a lot of it has to do with you don't have to be, I was going to say you don't have to be related to anyone to be powerful in the Force, but it's clear that both of the people who are the main Force users in this trilogy, Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, and Rey, both these people are related to very powerful Force users. So it's an odd message of maybe you can come from humble beginnings and then become someone great like Rey is as a Jedi, but she also didn't really come from humble beginnings. She became from Emperor Palpatine's clone son / clone of himself, so maybe it's just her god. I don't. Very confusing way the Rise of Skywalker did the story. Was not a fan, but I do think this edit is a great way to fix the ending to that story, because Anakin is the chosen one. A lot of fans like myself were disappointed that we didn't even get to see him in the Rise of Skywalker, because he is supposed to be one of the main characters of the entire story. And I disagree with George Lucas on this when he says that Anakin is the main character for the entire story. I don't think he's the main character for the sequel trilogy or the original trilogy, but he's definitely the main character for the prequels, and I think it would make more sense to have him also come back in the sequel trilogy like you had Luke come back and kind of get that Skywalker bloodline continue to flow and continue to finish their story. But tell me your thoughts below. What do you guys think about this ending to The Rise of Skywalker? Do you like this edit a little bit better? Do you like seeing Anakin come back and be the guidance that Kylo Ren and Ben Solo need in order to save Rey from death? Or do you think that the ending was fine? Just tell me what you think about The Rise of Skywalker's ending in general. I personally, still looking back at it in hindsight, am not a fan of it. I still think Return of the Jedi is one of the best endings in Star Wars ever, and it really feels like the true ending of Star Wars because it's very happy, it's very upbeat. Rise of Skywalker felt literally like a Return of the Jedi 2.0 when it came to the ending. But tell me your thoughts below. I'm Star Wars Only. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe because it does help out the channel. I will see you all next time, and may the Force be with you always.